There's definitely a trail going straight through here.
If you're in here with me, can you cross the rods for me, please?
Hello, are you speaking to Jewel?
Some encounters happen so suddenly that they feel impossible. In this video, a plane falls from the sky and crashes onto a car on a busy highway. A dirt bike ride through the forest leads to the discovery of human remains. When moments like these happen without warning, would you stay or get out immediately? On October 31st, 2025, YouTuber Paul Sohard uploaded a deeply disturbing video to the platform. Paul's a dirt bike rider who enjoys traveling deep into the woods for challenging off-road rides. In this footage, he and a friend are filming a Halloween special, but the trip unexpectedly turns into something that feels like it came straight out of a horror movie.
Please don't roost me. I think we're almost to the track. No rear brake, this sucks, popping the clutch over stuff. Like normally I use the rear brake just to like tap it and give me confidence I can bring the front end down, but nope, absolutely not out here. I think if we stop here, check the maps, change the battery, we'll be dialed. I think all we gotta do is cross these tracks and we'll be good. Up on the seas! You really need dirt tires out here. Yeah, you're good! This could be entertaining. He fell into the vine. A little more gas goes a long way. I think if we slide down that way, we'll be right where we want to be. Hopefully no trains are coming. Sorry, bikey. You just go, Calabunga! Oh, no fart, no rear brake is scary. Oh my god, that's all the brake we have. Good thing she was in gear. Bro, there's a human skull. No! No, bro, come down here. This is not what I wanted to find.
Bro, that's how fast I came.
Bro, look at that. Is that not a human skull?
On edge?
Bro, that's human.
Oh, that is.
Did we call the cops?
I don't know about that one.
Holy crap, that is actually a human head. That is a skull.
I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Bro, that's teeth and everything, like.
That's the murder weapon.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's super scary. Should we take a photo at least?
Yeah.
At first they are laughing and enjoying the ride, traveling so far into the wilderness that they eventually reach old abandoned train tracks. It appears to be just another off-road adventure, but after leaving the tracks and heading back through the trees, Paul notices something on his left, a skull. At first, it is difficult to understand what they are looking at. As he moves closer, it becomes clear that it is human. The laughter immediately stops. They contact the police, and the situation quickly becomes more serious.
We're gonna
Call 911.
Oh, we're calling them.
Yeah, that's what my friend said to do.
How are they gonna get out here?
Are we going to put the cops on the back of our thing?
Police, fire, EMS, or mental health services.
We're off in the woods. We're riding dirt bikes, and we just found a human skull.
Okay. Do you know where exactly you are?
No idea, really. We were just kind of riding in some creek bed, ended up here. I can get a pin and like have some place for the officers to meet us.
And you're fairly positive that it's real without by looking at it, or you're.
Yeah, it's got like fillings in the teeth and stuff. I'm no doctor, but it definitely looks like a skull.
I got you.
Like some teeth are missing, some have fillings, some don't.
Okay. What is your name?
I'm Paul.
And is it intact?
Yes.
I'll tell them to go to the end of Nixon. All right.
All right. We do everything, bro. We from catching crackheads stealing stuff to finding human skulls.
Recovering Kias?
Recovering Kias. Thank God it's like a skull and not just like a... Somebody threw it off the train tracks. Like low key.
The whole body maybe it's in the trees like they tried to jump off the train.
I feel like somebody killed somebody and they're like a train conductor and they've like dismembered the body and been throwing parts off.
I would think it's probably a better case scenario that's a homeless person on homeless person crime.
After making the call, they ride back toward the main road to meet officers and lead them to the location. Before more authorities arrive, they discover additional remains hidden in a nearby bush. The moment becomes very real.
I do.
Where?
through there. That's got
Oh.
piece of bone.
Yeah.
There's the rest of his backbone right there.
Yeah.
Must have washed out.
My guess was
All the way up. See right there to your left, and then right there behind that.
Oh, there's another one, yeah.
there's a bunch in there. Holy cow.
There's another one there. There's one over there. Now we got sent up to go get some more cops. So this is really getting crazy. I guess more units. Homicide is coming. Like, this ain't no joke out here. Holy crap. How you doing? Good. I was told to come up here to bring y'all back to the...
Yeah, there's another one coming. I guess wait for him.
Alright. It's crazy. Now we have 2 cops. This is getting hectic, guys. Bringing all units. Oh shoot, now there's another cop car and another one. They are deep out here.
For you though, bud, I don't know where back here in this green belt they'd be shooting.
Y'all find anything else?
We really haven't been stepping around it, just
Yeah.
keeping it as clean as possible.
I'm scared there's bones in that shoe.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it till y'all said something.
Yeah.
That's where they tried to make it up on the dirt bikes.
How often do y'all get calls for this type of stuff, or?
This is my first in 7 years
No way.
for remains like this. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Usually blue and white.
Yeah.
My best guess is he
I
probably
know.
fell, cracked, died, and then the floods came through and washed.
Gotcha.
Because it's been picked
some
clean
point
by
it was.
killing fields. When we used
I
to
will
drop
lay
deer
that.
off in our ranch,
Okay.
3 days they pick them clean.
Wow.
So I would not be surprised about that.
Wow. Y'all have a good evening.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for your service.
More officers arrive and the area is secured. Paul and his friend are asked to step away, while investigators take control. Later, Paul learns the remains belong to an elderly man with dementia who had gone missing and sadly died in that exact location. Sometimes a normal trip can reveal something no one expects. Do you think they handled the situation the right way? On September 30th, 2012, a disturbing video began circulating quickly on YouTube. In the footage, a man known as Mr. Jenny was hunting in a forest in Wyoming when he suddenly encountered something unforgettable.
Get back. Back. Yeah. You tell him I'm coming. The hell's coming with me? I see you, buddy. I see you. Boy, he's pretty. Oh, there you go. They're curious fuckers, boy. Fucking fire off you now. No. If need be. Soon to be around how they usually like to stand up. He's a little feller.
He sure is pretty.
He's pretty though. It's a beautiful hide. You see him, honey? Yeah, there he goes. About 400. I guess him at. Yeah. He may be a hair more now. Yeah. Pretty hairy.
Within seconds, a massive grizzly bear charges directly toward him. Instead of running, Jenny stands his ground with his pistol raised, staring directly at one of North America's most dangerous predators. Then, just as suddenly as the charge begins, the bear stops. The grizzly slows down, turns away, and disappears back into the forest. The moment could have easily turned tragic because when a grizzly decides to attack, there is rarely time to react. Do you think he was simply lucky, or was there another reason the bear turned away? On December 8th, 2025, along Interstate 95 in Florida, United States, a routine drive suddenly turns into a moment of real terror. Traffic on the highway appears completely normal. Then, without any warning, a dark object suddenly drops from the sky.
Like, bro, I have chops, I swear. Oh my goodness.
Voices filled with panic can be heard in the recording. The people inside struggle to understand what they're seeing. Within moments, a plane crashes onto the roadway and lands directly on top of a car. Metal slams into metal, and the impact is loud and sudden. The driver cautiously moves closer hands, shaking. Fear spreads across the highway, and traffic seems frozen as if time itself has stopped. No one wants to move. No one wants to get too close.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A plane just crashed onto a
Onto
car
a highway.
on a highway.
We're
in
gonna
front
pull
of us.
off and we're gonna...
Holy sh... Wow.
They look like they're okay.
Wow.
Then someone notices that the occupants appear to still be alive. That realization brings a brief sense of relief, even though the shock remains. A woman inside the car suffers minor injuries, and the pilots are able to exit alive. For a few seconds on that highway, life and death were separated by only inches. Maybe it was timing, or maybe something prevented a far worse tragedy. Do you think it was simply luck or something more? Neo Bailey runs a YouTube channel focused on wild outdoor camping, and on August 30th, 2021, he was doing what he usually does. The night began quietly with him zipped inside his tent, preparing to settle down. At first, everything felt calm. Then, sudden noises outside quickly changed the atmosphere. And sent a chill through him. The sounds came from wild coyotes howling nearby. He grabbed his flashlight but stayed inside the tent, listening as they moved around the campsite and circled close in the darkness. After a while, the howls slowly faded, and the coyotes eventually moved away. Still, the tension remained. If you heard coyotes circling your tent, would you stay calm or panic? This footage comes from Exploring with Brad, a Canadian YouTube channel, focused on exploring abandoned buildings, forgotten properties, and historic locations. The recording takes place on December 19th, 2025, at Fort Willow near Barrie, Canada. Brad arrives after dark and carefully moves through snow-covered woodland surrounding the fort. Using information he had researched earlier, he proceeds quietly while keeping his flashlight low to avoid drawing attention. The forest feels unusually silent. At times, faint voices seem to carry from deeper within the trees. He pauses frequently, scanning the surroundings for movement. Occasionally, distant flashes of light appear between the trunks, suggesting activity beyond normal wildlife.
Okay, ready?
This is what we're dealing with.
Like, look at this fresh snow.
Yeah. Look at his foot. Boom.
Well, that was 2 days of snow.
Oh, fudge. How do we get...
Great.
Can we cut through here?
I don't know, dude.
So we just trace our steps back?
Yeah, I guess we go back.
As he continues deeper into the woods, the flickering light becomes clearer. Soon, distinct voices can be heard, organized, controlled, and clearly human. The movement patterns confirm that other people are nearby. Brad continues recording but keeps his distance, realizing the situation is no longer a simple exploration of a historic site.
The devil is real.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Moments later, shouts carry in his direction, followed by movement and the crunch of footsteps in the snow. The possibility that he has been noticed becomes real. At that moment, he decides to abandon any plan of continuing the investigation.
I saw it move. It was like it was dancing.
You are a gift.
It knows about you. It knows what you got.
What is that, dude?
I don't know.
It was just standing up there.
Oh, you're seeing stuff. This way.
It's like a very pale...
Like, did it look like a cryptid to you?
He begins a steady but urgent retreat through the icy woodland. Snow and uneven terrain make each step difficult, but creating distance becomes the priority. Keeping his light low, he moves quickly, putting space between himself and the activity near the fort. What began as a quiet historical night exploration quickly becomes a serious safety concern. If you had heard those voices in the snow, would you have kept exploring or walked away like he did? This footage comes from Mandog Wild, a UK-based channel focused on wild camping survival and wilderness exploration, alongside his loyal dog companions. On January 13th, 2025, he and the dogs moved through dense brush and steep terrain in remote mountainous woodland in the United Kingdom.
What do you reckon, DC? She's looking at something. What is it? Currently, obviously right now. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay.
Yeti moves ahead with confidence, while DC shows more hesitation. The forest feels unusually silent. There are no birds calling and no clear signs of wildlife. Thorny branches and crown of thorns plants snag boots and clothing, slowing their progress. The dog's shifting behavior, brief alert pauses, and subtle hesitation creates an early feeling of unease before anything visible occurs.
I don't know, because it's just super quiet if you listen. No birds, no bird song, no bird singing. That could be the reason. You know what they say about, DC. Yeah, this way, okay, DC?
Eventually, thick vegetation blocks their path, forcing them to stop and reconsider their route. For a moment, they are effectively stuck, scanning the area for another way through. The dog's uneasy posture increases the tension. Uneven ground and limited visibility add both physical and mental strain.
Pine needles. Good job, DC, good job. There's like something, could live in there. It's probably a good little shelter.
Steep, overgrown slopes cause them to backtrack more than once. Movement becomes slow and careful to avoid injury. Each direction leads deeper into dense growth rather than open terrain, and the longer they remain inside the brush, the heavier the atmosphere seems to feel. As daylight begins to fade, the focus shifts from exploring to getting out. The dogs remain alert and tense. Step by step, they carefully work their way out of the woodland. The oppressive silence slowly lifts as they leave the thickest area behind. No animal appears and no clear threat is ever seen yet. The mix of dense terrain, unusual quiet, and the dog's continued unease creates a deeply tense experience. If you'd seen your dogs reacting that way in total silence, would you have kept going or turned back sooner? This footage comes from The Midnight Project, a channel known for building suspense by combining historical background with live paranormal investigations. Their videos often use night vision cameras, motion-triggered devices, and real-time reactions to capture events as they unfold. The recording takes place on February 11th, 2026 at Jacob's Well in Texas, United States.
Oh, that white figure. Put the camera up. We saw this white figure that was chasing us. Hey, Jax. Oh. Did you hear that?
During the investigation, a pale white figure briefly appears behind the investigators. It moves quickly and is visible for only a split second before disappearing. The team reacts immediately, startled by the sudden visual anomaly.
Guys, we just heard something right as we turned the camera off. Wait, shine the flashlight.
Put this video on me. I don't think you'll be able to capture it.
As we were laughing, right, I heard in the background there was a loud woo noise in the background that was like laughing with us. Yes, right. Dude, as we finished talking,
it kind of sounded like a little cackle, like a little child.
A child?
Yes.
Dude, the child was the one that was the last one that didn't survive.
Oh yeah.
Later that night, a clear white shape appears to move beside one of the team members. Almost at the same moment, one of the cat ball devices suddenly activates. The combination of the visual movement and the device response raises the tension around the group. At one point, several unrelated individuals enter the area, breaking the isolation of the site.
Oh, I just rolled my ankle. Dude, where are we going? I think it's this way. Alright, stop running.
Okay, guys, so we had to leave because there was a bunch of people who were coming in. We thought some of it was going to catch us, so that's wraps for today. We got pretty much a lot. I mean, that interaction was pretty crazy.
I was actually, it blew my expectations. I didn't even expect to see anything really.
Because the environment has become unpredictable and the situation feels uncertain, the team decides to return to their vehicle. Sometimes brief shapes or triggered devices have simple explanations, but timing can make them feel different. If you had seen that white figure move behind you, would you have stayed or walked away? In May 2019, YouTuber Cryptid Hunter and his friend Michael Scott entered a small cabin in Goldfield, Nevada that once belonged to a woman named Jewel, a well-known prostitute from the town's former red light district who died without family to claim her body. The cabin is widely known for one unsettling detail: the door is said to lock itself from the inside after someone leaves, even when no one remains inside. While exploring the cabin, both investigators heard footsteps moving nearby. When Cryptid Hunter stepped outside to check the area, however, no one could be found. A previous visitor had described a similar event.
Because I keep hearing something and I don't know what it is. Like I just keep hearing almost like footsteps or like it's almost like a tapping. Is there anybody else around here walking around outside or no?
No, we're the only people out here right now. That's a police siren, but besides the police siren, what we're kind of hearing is like footsteps.
Yeah, like somebody walking.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it definitely sounds like footsteps.
Yeah.
The husband briefly left to use the restroom and returned minutes later to discover the door locked from the inside, even though his wife had remained asleep and untouched.
So you guys let me know in the comments if those flagpoles sound like footsteps to you. So I'll stay quiet for a second and let me know. Alright, so to me guys, at least to me, it does not sound like those flags are making the same sounds as shuffling of feet or footsteps. Because when we're in there, it sounds like literally footsteps are walking around us. But as you can see, nobody else is out here. The only people that are inside is Michael and myself. Michael's in there by himself right now. There was a couple that was staying in this room. And the husband got up to use the restroom. His wife stayed asleep. She did not wake up. He came back a little while after he was done, and the front door was locked. His wife says she didn't do it. So could it be Jewel or could it be one of her customers?
Just waiting for her next customer.
What's up, Jewel?
When you're sitting in here in the dark by yourself,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. You get a weird feeling. I didn't hear anything though. I didn't see anything, but almost just like that feeling of being watched.
Yeah.
After stepping outside, Cryptid Hunter examined nearby flagpoles, but noticed the sounds they produced in the wind did not match the distinct shuffling footsteps heard inside the cabin. At the time, only Cryptid Hunter and Michael were present. Michael remained inside, conducting a paranormal session. Reports had circulated about unusual activity in the room, suggesting that something unseen might still linger. Michael later described a strong feeling of being watched, though he could not determine from where. Cryptid Hunter noted that the atmosphere inside felt different, subtle, but noticeably charged. He then used dowsing rods in an attempt to communicate, while the shuffling sounds outside continued intermittently.
I'm gonna use my dowsing rods and see if she'll come out and talk to us. The shuffling of the feet outside is pretty strong. Jewel, if you're in here, you can talk to me with these rods that I'm holding. If you're in here with me, can you cross the rods for me, please? Where are you standing, Jewel? Point the rods in the direction where you're standing, both of them. I don't know if it's me moving the rods. My hands are moving a little bit. Like Michael said, the energy in here when you're by yourself completely changes.
During a spirit box session, a clear voice was captured saying hello, followed by another word that sounded like plenty. Additional questions were directed toward Jewel, her former visitors, and whether another presence might share the space.
Jewel, can you say the name of one of your customers or your own name for me, please?
Can you say your name really clear for us? Really clear and really loud. To me, it kind of sounded like you're in my room or in my room. Hello.
That was the guy's voice that said hello, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Are you speaking to Jewel? Is Jewel here with you, sir? Jewel, who's your gentleman that is in here with you? Give us his name, please.
Maybe the sounds come from a simple structural cause hidden within the cabin. Or maybe something about that room refuses to stay quiet. If you had stood inside and heard those footsteps with no one around, would you stay or walk away? This clip comes from the YouTube channel Travel Snacks, who was finishing her stay in Texas in January 2023 after spending time with her son and driving around Dallas while exploring neighborhoods she might one day consider home.
So my last video, I was in Texas and it was going to be my last day. I was eating my kolache and it was delicious, but then I just wanted to drive around a little bit more, looking for different neighborhoods, places to live possibly. And then that night I wanted to take my son out to dinner as just a thank you for helping me with fixing my pipes and letting me stay at his house for a few days and stuff like that. So me and my son had a really nice time. So this morning I got up, went to Planet Fitness, got my shower, read my Bible, and it's time to go. And I'm headed to Jacksonville, Florida.
She planned to travel from Dallas to Jacksonville, Florida, choosing to move at a steady pace instead of rushing the journey. Rather than forcing long days behind the wheel, she mapped out a route that allowed her to stop in different cities along the way. By spacing the drive into manageable sections, she hoped to avoid feeling exhausted while traveling.
Every day, I don't like it when I have to drive like 5, 6, 10 hours a day to get somewhere. So I decided to just map out what the route is from Dallas to Jacksonville, driving 3 hours a day. What I've learned is never to exercise or exert yourself to the point of pain. So I'm just gonna take a quick walk, just get in some more steps. Fun little fact, I forgot about this place. Like I remember taking this walk before, but I didn't remember where it was in the world. And then when I pulled up, I was like, oh, I've been here before. So I'm in Bossier City, Louisiana. There's the casino. Next to it, which I'll pull up in a second, is Bass Pro Shops right next door. Outdoor world. Plenty of parking. See all these spots. Now I just need to find one that's a little more level. All right, this is a little better. Oh, turn up your lights. This guy just tried to walk up to me. And then this guy with his lights that just flashed on me. I mean, I feel bad because he's asking for a jump, but you shouldn't, as a man, approach a woman asking her for a jump. Maybe when he saw that I was a woman, he didn't keep coming up to my van, but I just kept looking down. So it's a no for me. I'm going in the back. Make sure I lock my door. He's just standing there back by his truck. Maybe he's just frazzled, but if it was me, I would definitely go in to the casino and see if there's like a security that could help. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Okay. Good job, guy. He's walking towards the casino. These are the fun... Well, it's only fun if nothing bad happens, but these are the fun things that I like to do, is have these little spy moments from my van, because I'm nosy. Alright. It's nice and quiet. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Life on the road in a van always includes certain unavoidable difficulties. That can mean dealing with unexpected situations that may affect personal safety, particularly after dark. Living alone in a van also demands constant awareness of the surroundings, especially when parking overnight in public places. Choosing unusual locations to sleep brings its own concerns about security and comfort. Perhaps the man in the parking lot simply needed assistance, or perhaps being cautious was the wiser decision in that moment. When you're alone in a quiet parking area at night, do you assume the best about people or trust your instincts and remain alert? The unsettling footage comes from Wandering Wild Things, a UK-based outdoor adventure channel, where the host explores rivers, forests, and remote camping areas with her dogs, documenting real wilderness trips, campsite setups, and the unpredictable moments that can happen while camping alone. It is February 25th, 2026, in a riverside woodland area in the United Kingdom. The host slowly drives along a muddy track beside the river before stopping to check the campsite with her dogs. The ground is damp and uneven. Broken glass is scattered across the clearing, and she begins picking it up to prevent the dogs from stepping on it.
What's going on? She's acting like there's someone over there, but I don't see anything. And Willow is not the barker. Willow doesn't do this. So if Willow's doing this, something's freaking her out. Hey, Willow, it's okay. Olive's not freaked out though.
While walking through the area, one of the dogs, Willow, suddenly starts growling and barking toward the trees. The reaction is sharp and unusual, instantly drawing the host's attention. She stops and looks in the same direction, trying to figure out what the dog has noticed.
Hold on, you guys. Come here. Hey, come here. You might, if there is someone over there, I wouldn't sneak around. Hey, Willow. Olive, do you see anything? Do you see anything? Who's there? Willowdine, it's okay, baby. Willow, come here. Willow, what do you see? Come here.
She carefully moves around the campsite, calling the dogs back while scanning the woodland. She checks behind several trees and along a nearby path, listening closely for movement. Nothing can be seen, but the uncertainty creates tension. Willow begins barking again, this time facing another direction.
My heart's racing a little bit. All right. What is it, Will? I don't like this. Is it maybe the horse person that we saw earlier? Willow, come here. Willow, come here. It's okay. It is a road. Come here. Come here, Bibs. Are you okay? What is it? Her hair's not up anymore. Well, it is a little bit. She's acting like someone's around.
The host follows the noise and eventually finds the source, a small armadillo, moving through the brush. After the interruption, she finishes setting up camp and prepares food as the temperature begins to fall. The cold makes the night uncomfortable, and she eventually moves into the truck with the dogs to stay warm. Issues with the heater and bedding make it difficult to sleep, but they remain safe through the night. Camping alone in remote areas always carries uncertainty. Sometimes the danger is real. Sometimes it is only wildlife. But when you're alone in the woods, every sound feels louder. If you were there and your dog reacted like that, would you stay calm or pack up and leave? This video comes from the YouTube channel Lisa's Escapades, posted on September 8th, 2024. Lisa lives an off-grid lifestyle, traveling alone and spending much of her time exploring the outdoors. However, exploring remote wilderness by yourself always increases personal vulnerability. She set out on a trail she had planned to hike for some time. Early in the trek, she reached an area known for a reported Bigfoot sighting, and almost immediately the atmosphere seemed to change. The forest suddenly went quiet.
So I just got here, and out this way, right behind one of those trees, I saw something really tall and dark, and I got my binoculars out to look at it closer, and it's gone. So that's kind of weird. It's all flooded out there too. So there was a sighting over here earlier this year or late last year, I can't remember the date. So that's interesting. So I keep hearing drum beats off this way. Now there is a road out here, but the drum beats I keep hearing have been for about, so I don't think it's a car going by. And there's no places to park around here, so that's kind of odd. I'm smelling something really nasty. It could be the standing water, but I don't know, it smells like trash.
Strange noises echoed faintly in the distance, along with a foul smell she couldn't clearly identify. The farther she walked, the heavier the surroundings seemed to feel. Low growls appeared occasionally, followed by long stretches of silence that didn't feel natural.
I hear dogs barking at something, and it sounded like there was a big thump, and then they started barking, like a growl too. Where are these dogs coming from? Man, they are upset over something. It looks like straight through here, it looked like something big walked right through that grass, because it's all mashed down. See, it looks like a path going straight through here.
Step by step, she continued along the trail. Yet the feeling of being watched kept growing stronger. With unfamiliar sounds seeming to move around her, she became convinced that someone or something was following her through the woods.
There's definitely a trail going straight through here. And if you keep going that way, you'll run into the Florida Trail. I believe there's a campsite over there too. Like a remote campsite where you can camp on the Florida Trail. I keep hearing something clanking together.
She kept walking, determined to finish the trail, but the sense of a nearby presence never seemed to fade. Even after leaving the area, she remained certain she had not been alone. Maybe it was wildlife reacting to her presence, or maybe isolation made every sound feel sharper. If you felt that steady sense of being followed on a lonely trail, would you turn back or keep walking and hope it was nothing? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.